Hi, my name is Jennifer McCray Rincón, and I am the founding artistic director of Visionbox Studio. We are a professional actor training program and new play development company in Denver. We've been around for about 10 years, and we've been coming to Thescon almost every year. I'm very pleased that we're getting a chance to speak with you and work with you on film. I am going to go over something called the 5 questions, which is an acting method created by someone named Earl Gister at the Yale School of Drama. He was head of the acting program and associate dean from 1979 to 1999. A very, very important acting teacher in America and influenced hundreds of film and theater actors. I trained with him from 1984 to 87 and have been teaching what he taught me ever since. So we're going to just dive in, and I'm going to ask everyone to get a notebook and a pencil or a pen or a piece of paper and write down what I'm going to go over. You will have access to photocopies or printings of these questions, but I would like you during the process today to actually write down notes. And I also suggest that all of you, if you don't already, maintain a journal about your acting. So these 5 questions, the answers to them are in the play. They're not in our minds. We don't make them up. The idea is that the playwright wrote something that has an intention about it. That we talk about there being many choices you can make in a given scene or monologue or piece of text, but we also say there's one best choice. And what is that best choice? It is the choice that the writer intended. So this technique is about very connected to text analysis and giving you tools to uncover the meaning of text and what's already in the play. So I'm going to shoot through them. I ask you to write them down, and then we're going to go over them one at a time. So question number 1 is, who am I? And then you're going to put in parentheses next to the question, character. So again, who am I, or the character. Question number 2 is, where and when am I? And in parentheses, you're going to write the given circumstances. So again, where and when am I? And we call this the given circumstances. Question number 3, and I tell people to put a star by question number 3, is, what do I want? And in parentheses, I'm going to ask you to write down the spine, the super objective, and the objective. Again, spine, super objective, and objective. Question number 4, which I will tell you to put 2 stars by, is, how do I get what I want? How do I get what I want? And we're going to write a couple of things next to that. In parentheses, we will call this the action or the how. And there's a sentence we use with this, which is, how do I want to make you feel in order to get what I want? So how do I want to make you feel in order to get what I want? This is about one character, one actor speaking to another. And we're going to go over that in more detail in a minute. And then finally, question number 5 is, what do I do once I do or don't get what I want? So if you didn't get all that down, that's okay. We're going to go through everything one question at a time, but you can get a sense of the overview. I have been, since the day I heard these questions in September of 1984, all the light bulbs in my head went off, and I have been using these questions in directing plays, in analyzing text, and in my own teaching, which I've been teaching acting starting at the National Theatre Conservatory and now at Visionbox for about 30 years. So, question number 1, and you'll see it across the screen, is who am I, or character. And normally I would now turn it over and ask you, what do you think that is? What kinds of things go in to make up character? And we want to look, again, at very specific givens from the playwright. This is not interpretive. This is not, oh, he's a nice person, oh, he's a mean person. No, this is some specific givens of the script and the playwright. So we're going to look at things like your name. And I ask you to look up the names of the characters. It's the first clue into who the character is. It's specifically chosen by the character. My own kids did a paper when they were young called the name paper when they were in, I think, middle school. And I always ask actors to do this, which is to look up your own name. What is the meaning of it? Who named you? And ask yourself the question, you know, how is that name appropriate to who you are? Would you change it if you could? If you would, what would you change it to? Jewish people believe your name is a prophecy, and I always find that really interesting. Anyway, the meaning of names is very important in plays. Next, things like physical appearance. Think of a play where someone's physical appearance is a major issue or important thing about who they are. Cyrano de Bergerac, The Elephant Man. So again, not always politically correct, but it's very important what someone looks like. And a playwright will talk about the physical appearance. Other things about character, race, gender, economic and social background, occupation. You all are students, that's an occupation. I'm a theater director and teacher, that's an occupation. I think if I'm leaving anything out, my friends would help me if they were here. I think that covers it for the moment. So, religious background, occupation, class, education, that's another one I left out. In the United States, education has a lot to do with class. Yes, it's money, but you're doing a Shakespeare play, it's more about your status comes from your name and birthright. Are you of nobility? There's different class structures in different time periods and different plays. So we're going to look at all of those things, and that's just question number 1, character. Question number 2 is where and when am I? And we look at that, again, what has the playwright given us? When we're looking at where, we'll start with that. Where is, we can start big and go small, which is we're on the planet Earth. What country are we in? We're in the United States. What state? We're in Colorado. What city? We're in Denver. And then what is the particular physical location? We are in the courtyard lounge at Encore Boulevard 1 in Denver, an apartment building. So what is it like doing a scene if a play was written here? How does this physical location define the behavior and the world of the play? You want to think about why did the playwright put that particular scene in that particular location? Looking at indoors and outdoors are interesting things. And of course, when you're looking at a particular place, you're going to want to research things about that place. We'll talk about research at the end. Then moving to when, we've got, again, large to small. We want to start with the particular time in history, a year in history. It's 2020. What's going on in 2020 in the world? Then we're going to look at things like season. It's fall right now. The difference if we were doing this in the middle of summer or the middle of winter. Probably I'd be wearing a very big coat right now if it's the middle of winter. Also, when is a time of day? We're filming this in the afternoon, different if it was the middle of the night or 5 in the morning. And finally, a more interesting, not more interesting, but just a little bit more abstract or interpretive time is time in life. Playwrights will look at a character at a particular time in their life. Oh, I left out in character, your age is important, the age of the character. Very important, actually. And then time in life, I often will refer to another kind of religious or cultural question, which is why is this different? Why is this day different than all other days? Is something you want to think about. Okay, we're moving along because I'm running out of time. Question number 3 with this asterisk is spine, superobjective, and objective. A spine is something that Harold Clurman discussed in his work, and you can look at a very important book on directing by Harold Clurman. He talks about the spine of a play and the spine of a character, like the spine of a book or the spine of your body, is not the themes of the play, but the human need that propels the play. And it's very important when looking at individual characters, because you're going to want to look for a super objective in the whole play, which is what does the character want in this whole play? Is there super objective? I usually use Blanche Dubois as an example in Streetcar. Uta Hagen played her, and she said that Blanche wants to make everything beautiful. So we're looking for an active verb, something very playable, and something that kind of interconnects all aspects of the play and that character. The spine is the need of the whole play. Again, an active verb, to blank, to find the truth. It's an active verb, and all the character superobjectives will interconnect to that spine. It's a very important tool for directors, but it's important for actors so that you understand how you're making choices about that particular character. And finally, the objective is what you want in the scene. So we're going to talk, when we do the next scene that you're going to see with our 2 actors, we're going to talk about the objective of the scene, but it's in the context of a spine and a super objective of the character. Question number 4, which is 2 stars, and we're going to spend a really lot of time of this on our feet, is action, or the how, which is how do I get what I want? This is what the character does moment to moment throughout the play, and moment to moment in a scene. We articulate it as how do I want to make you feel in order to get what I want? And we're going to really do some in-depth work on this when you see the scene. This is the most important tool of rehearsal, and we do this on our feet, but also going to learn in your preparation. To be a prepared actor means you're open, you're honest, you will take direction because you're prepared and you feel good and you feel confident. But you don't want to come into rehearsal just as a blank slate. You want to have read the play, you want to score your script, as in write the answers to these questions down in your script or in your journal, and we're going to do a lot of work on that in a few minutes. And finally, question number 5 is, what do I do once I do or don't get what I want? This is very important in the ends of scenes and in the ends of plays, because if you're moving along and we know what the characters want and the scene comes to the end and we go, I don't know what happened, that's what an audience follows. They follow the playing out of the objectives of the characters. They don't really follow storyline and theme. Those are interesting, but what an audience really is looking at, and this is why it's so important as an actor to understand this, they're watching a scene like a tennis match. This character wants blank, this character wants blank, and they're fighting to the death for what they want. And there will come a point in the scene where someone gets what they want and someone doesn't, or where it's a tie. They both get what they want, or neither of them get what they want. So we're going to look at that in the context of the next scene. Those are the 5 questions. I kind of sped up there because I was taking too much time at the beginning. And don't be overwhelmed or intimidated if you go, wow, that was way too fast and I didn't get this. This is something that takes a lifetime to absorb and put into practice, and it changes all the time. But I'll tell you, this is a simple and not easy way to approach all of text, and I've never seen it fail an actor. I've been working like this, as I said, for over 30 years, and everything else I've studied somehow kind of always comes back to this. There are, of course, many ways to approach acting, many ways to approach text, but I found that this particular articulation of technique was the best that I had ever encountered. And my teacher, Auguster, was, I think, one of the best acting teachers in American history. And I am very grateful to him and his impact on me and hundreds of actors in America, and the impact that it continues to have when people like me get to teach it to people like you. So we're now going to move into the scene study portion. So we'll take a moment here. You can turn off the tape and spend a little time just going over these 5 questions as we get ready for the scene. And I want you, as you watch the scene, I want you to be thinking about, who are these characters? Where is this? Very importantly, what are the objectives in the scene? What are the actions? And do they or do they not get what they want? So that's where we'll go to next. Thank you very much. Okay, we're back, and I'd like to introduce 2 members of the Visionbox Ensemble. We have Rebecca Golson and Trevor Lyons, both been with the company for some time and working with me, and they're going to do a scene for you today that they've been working on for a bit of time in class. This is from Outside Mullingar by John Patrick Shanley. If you don't know John Patrick Shanley, please spend some time looking him up and looking at his life and work. He wrote a play called Danny and the Deep Blue Sea many years ago. John Turturro was known for premiering that, and he also wrote the film Moonstruck. I'm bringing these up because you're going to see some familiar relationships and characters in this scene we're about to do. Trevor's playing Anthony, and Rebecca is playing Rosemary, and these are, it's a great play. I recommend reading it. But I also want to remind everyone, when you're working on a scene, please read the play. When you're working on a monologue, read the play. Even if you found it in a monologue book, the answers to the questions are in the play. So we're not going to talk about the whole play today or about the spine of the play, but we will just focus on this scene. But those are things that in longer conversations and in our work, we do talk about. We will read the play and talk about the whole play before we even look at the scene. So here it is, Outside Mullingar. They're going to just do a reading of the scene. We've really not rehearsed it that much on our feet. We've run through it a couple times. They're going to do the scene, and I want all of you to be with your notebooks and paper and pencil and be thinking about the 5 questions. And at the end of the running of the scene, we're going to stop the tape for a minute, or you can stop the tape and really do some writing about what is it that you saw. Not whether it was good or bad, what you liked or didn't like, but what are you seeing? And you want to become the kind of artist that's how you're articulating the work. You're not saying, oh, I really liked this, or oh, that was good. We're not here to judge it, good or bad. We're here to try to figure out, what do we see? And that's how we're going to work on technique. So I'm going to ask you that at the end. And so here it is, Outside Mullingar with Trevor and Rebecca. Trevor playing Anthony and Rebecca playing Rosemary.
I've sat here in this house for more years than my grandmother lived, waiting for you to notice my heart lighting up the way down the old Vereen to you. Tell me why you haven't come.
I did come.
Never. When?
3 years ago. But I turned back. Right there at the White Hedge.
Why?
Because I'm cracked. I'm mad.
Why are you cracked? How are you cracked?
You want to know everything? All right. Here it is. I believe that I am a honeybee.
Say that again.
I believe that I am a honeybee.
But you live in a house, not a hive.
Think of it as a hive.
You can't fly.
I believe I can fly.
How long have you thought you were a bee?
Enough of me life that it might as well say all of it.
This is what she told Fiona.
That's what I told her, and she ran like Satan.
And this is why you've never told me I was beautiful.
That, and the nearness of your farm to mine. And it's true, bees don't like smoke.
Well, I'm fed up.
What?
All that stands in the way. I don't care if you're a bee, Anthony. I don't care if you are a bee. I'm not dying with living for you. Wait, do you think I'm a bee?
No,
You don't?
you are not a bee.
I'm not?
No.
May I know what I am?
A flower. The most beautiful bloom that grows.
Oh. Oh. Do you really think that of me?
Yes, and more. And each time a fella came to try his luck with you, I suffered like Christ himself.
Oh, Anthony.
I wish you had married one of those men, my dearest girl, to end my torture, because I'm no good for nothing, and no one.
You're good for me.
No.
You knocked me down in the yellow grass when I was 6, and it was you from then. I've been cleaning this kitchen till my hands were glass, hoping the day would come you would enter here and sit there. And now the day has come.
The day has not come. Go to America. Marry Adam.
You really want me gone?
Yes. I had a sign. I came to your door with my mother's ring 3 years past, but when I reached in my pocket, nothing. It was gone.
Is that what you've been doing with that gizmo? Looking for your mother's ring?
That I lost it was a sign. A man who thinks he's a bee should not marry,
Why not?
because he's mad.
What does a bee know of madness? The thing that makes you feel crazy is the very thing that proves you're sane. You know you're a man.
A man who thinks he's a bee.
But if you know it's odd that you think you're a bee, are you not sane? Why have you gone on looking for the ring?
It was my mother's.
Bees don't have mothers with rings. Men do. And men bring rings to women. Why?
Leave off.
What would you have done if you found it?
When?
Ever.
But I didn't.
But if you had,
Oh, I'd have offered it to you.
give us a chance.
But I couldn't find the ring.
Give us a chance, man.
If it was meant to be, I'd have found it.
We say what's meant, Tony. Life is here. We name it. Be bold for me.
But I've told Adam about you.
Tell him to go to hell to Amsterdam.
To leave off Amsterdam.
Tell him I'm yours.
But you're not.
Make me yours.
But I'm mad as a Kelly.
I don't care.
I think I'm a honeybee. I fly around in my mind like a tiny thing.
Look at you. Look how I look at you. I have no skin, so tender I am to you.
And I am a virgin.
We'll solve that.
But I think I'm a honeybee. Even now, I'm choking with being in the house. I'm only happy in the fields or by the window where I can feel the wind and imagine my wings in the free air.
You can have the wind and the fields and all the windows up. Here, sure you fool. Here's the ring.
What's this?
Found
You
it.
have it.
I
My mother's ring?
found it by the door 3 years ago.
Why didn't you say?
I thought it had been sent to stop me from suicide and give me hope.
3 years looking and there it is.
I prayed for a sign and there was my prayers answered in my hand.
And the thing that stopped me from knocking.
What do I have to do? Do I have to swat at you to get you to sting me because I will? You see me as a flower? It's the sweetest thing.
We should be thinking, Rosemary, not rash. We're neighbors. I see you at church. We'll kill each other when it goes wrong. I should go away, out into the air.
Think of me as an open door.
Never thought of you without fear.
Why not fear?
The pain of love.
Think of the pleasure. Take your ring.
Bad luck. Sure, it's yours. Is it not? It always was.
He kisses her. It's a good one. They breathe.
I'm mad too, you know.
How are you, man?
We'll find out when it's too late.
Jesus. All those years wasted.
Who knows the way things should be? There's beauty in this.
Will you take down the gates?
Never.
The voice I heard in the fields didn't say go. Not just that. It said go to her.
Look. The sky.
They look out a window. The sun is breaking free of the clouds. Sun lights Anthony and Rosemary's faces. Lights fade, and the end of play. Okay, thank you both. So now just want to remind you to pause the video for a minute, and I want everyone to take a moment to write down some answers to the 5 questions. Who are the characters? What did you see? Where and when is it? Most importantly, what is the objective of the scene? What do they each want in the scene? How do they go about getting that? And finally, what do they do once they do or don't get what they want? Which means you also have to kind of decide whether you think they do or they don't get what they want, which is what the story's about. So take a moment to have you write, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to ask the actors a little bit about that, and then we're going to work primarily on question number 4, from moment to moment. How do I want to make you feel in order to get what I want? So we're going to show you what an action is. So let's take a moment to write. All right, thank you guys for that, and first reading and a rehearsal. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, and then we're going to get on our feet and look a little bit at actions. Question number 4. So both of you, if you could first talk about what is the super objective of your character in the whole play. Trevor, what do you think Anthony wants?
In the whole play, I feel like he wants.
I want.
In the context of the whole play, I want Rosemary to choose me.
Okay, forever.
Or maybe even Rosemary to claim me or something.
Choose me's good.
Choose me. Okay.
Maybe in terms of your particular issue with fear of pain of love, maybe what you want is to get her to make me.
I guess that's what I mean by, something about.
Get her to make me choose her forever.
Yeah.
Get her to make me choose her forever. Maybe. Okay. Now, Rosemary, what do you want in the whole play?
In the whole play, I want him to choose me. I want Anthony to choose me.
Okay, good. Forever and ever.
Forever.
Okay. And next, I left the dog walking. Okay, as part of the play. Now, so in terms of that, what you want in the whole play, which is also going to be related to the spine of the play, these are things we keep working on as we work on a whole play. But we brought it up because it's very important. You can't work on a scene if you don't know something about the whole play. And I just want to remind students there's a tendency sometimes to work on a monologue or scene and not read the play. That is not acceptable, and you just won't do as good work on it. So reminding ourselves of that. We have read the whole play. We worked on a few scenes from the play, but today we're just working on this scene. Now, in this scene, the objective, remind ourselves, which is question number 3, has to do with the super objective in that it advances it. It's connected to it. It could be in opposition to it, but it's related to it. So what do you want in this scene today, Anthony?
In this scene, I want her to, how do we phrase it? In this scene, I want to end things forever. I want
How about this?
I want her to leave me alone forever.
Okay, or how about this? Get her to choose Adam.
Get her to choose Adam.
Adam, who's
Perfect. That's
his
more of an active
cousin,
yeah.
right? I came here today to make her marry Adam. I don't know, but in order that this is done forever, something like that.
I came here today to get her to marry Adam.
And leave me alone, which will make her leave me alone forever. Make this thing end we're gonna, this is an example of an interesting scene objective, which is in complete opposition to what he ultimately really wants, which makes me also think over time we would refine the super objective, because the obstacle is he's afraid of the pain of love.
Fear.
Okay, Rosemary, what do you want today?
I want him to choose me tonight.
Or what?
Or I can't.
The shotgun awaits.
Yeah, or the shotgun awaits. I am going to kill myself if he doesn't choose me tonight.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, because you talk about suicide
Right, a lot.
in the play, that it's just, I can't stand it anymore.
Right.
And that's the old, why is this day different than all other days? We pay our however much money now to see plays, over $100, whatever it is, not to just see people do whatever is happening. We want to see something that's makes this day different than all other days. Okay, and go.
I've sat here in this house for more years than my grandmother lived, waiting for you to notice my heart lighten up the way down the old Boreen to you. Tell me why you haven't come.
Okay, good. I'm going to stop you. So a couple of things. First of all, it's a very long line of text for the first period, but you can have change in thought, change in tone, and there is a comma, which you don't stop on, but indicates a shift of some kind. So, and he's also got a capital lid. So I've sat here in this house for more years than my grandmother lived. What is the action on that? Let's look at two different actions in the same line. How do you want to make him feel there? I've sat here.
I'm patient.
Okay. Good. I've been patient.
I've been patient.
I've paid my dues. I think so. It has to do with, it's been a long time. I've waited a long time. I've waited, maybe it's about, I can't wait much longer.
I can't wait any longer.
Yeah, I'm done waiting. Maybe really the action is,
waiting.
I'm done waiting. I can't wait anymore. There you go. So it's an action about you. I've sat here. And then what about waiting for you to notice my heart lighting up the way down the old Boreen to you?
I'm... Sorry, that one's caught me off guard.
Waiting for you to notice my heart lighten up the way down the old Boreen to you.
I love you. I want you to see me.
Yeah, that's a paraphrase meaning not action. It could be make him feel loved or make him feel I love you. It feels to me like the action is about him. In other words, make him feel he's something. Waiting for you to notice my heart lighting up the way down the old Boreen to you. It could be about make him feel he's what?
Blind.
Yeah. He's stupid. You're stupid. You're an idiot. Egypt, which you call him earlier. Waiting for you. So one is make him feel I'm something, then make him feel he's something. And then we've got tell me why you haven't come. And how do you want to make him feel there?
I want to make him feel I don't understand.
Could be that. Good. Tell me why you haven't come. I don't understand you. The other one we talked about earlier was what?
Make him feel you've hurt me.
Okay. That could be make him feel you hurt me, or could make him feel I'm hurt.
Or I'm hurt.
Simplify. Tell me why you haven't come. My heart is breaking. So again, it's very interesting just to tell the students that there is a tendency when asked about an action for an actor to first just kind of paraphrase the meaning of the line, which nothing wrong with that. But we're really trying to get to a simple make you feel blank or make you feel I'm blank. Make you feel mean or make you feel I'm hurt. Whatever, one or the other, they're both active. So let's do those new choices one time on that line.
Okay. I've sat sat here in this house for more years than my grandmother lived, waiting for you to notice my heart lighten up the way down the old marine to you. Tell me why you haven't come.
I did come.
Never. When?
Okay, hold on. So what is I did come?
To make her feel that she's wrong.
Okay, what I'm getting is make her feel I don't understand you, or make her feel she's annoying.
Yes, she doesn't understand what that.
Because here's what I think.
Just more simply, no, I did.
I did come. You're wrong. I did come. So keeping it simple. I think a little bit what happens as you're trying to find action sometimes for you, Trevor, is what the character is feeling as a result of what the other person is doing is what leads you. And this
As
isn't
opposed to sticking to what I'm
the
trying.
action. See, this is an old note, and I remember this from the olden days, is that how...
Not so old.
Yeah, but a little. No, I'm teasing. I'm old.
I know.
I'm olden. You're youngin.
Yes.
But anyway, that you do have a very good sense of listening and responding. What I would say is, it's not that you don't react, but your reaction needs to be turned into an action sooner.
Mm-hmm.
You stay on the reaction a little too long.
Gotcha.
How you're feeling, as opposed to how do you want to make her feel.
Gotcha.
That's exactly it. You get a little too much into what the character or you are feeling, and not what you're doing because of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make you a little more of a force to be reckoned with. And I don't think this happens to you all the time. I'm not identifying like, oh, this is a problem. But in this rehearsal and in this scene and in this character, it's something that's happening a little bit.
Gotcha.
So this is where technique again is going to help you make this a more interesting scene where you might win. I want to see you're going to win. If you win the thing you don't want. That's the irony.
Yeah.
But that you're still trying to win, getting her to marry Adam,
Mm-hmm.
not me.
Got it.
Okay. So go from the tell me why you haven't come. Make him feel I'm hurt.
Tell me why you haven't come.
I did come.
Never. When?
3 years ago. But I turned back. Right there, the white hedge.
Why?
Because I'm cracked. I'm mad.
Why are you cracked? How are you cracked?
You want to know everything? All right. Here it is. I believe that I'm a honeybee.
Say that again.
I believe that I'm a honeybee.
Okay, good. I want to stop you. So first of all, that one choice of I did come, you're wrong, immediately led you into a different scene.
Yeah, I felt that.
It was so much more interesting because you weren't playing that you're losing.
Yeah.
You were trying to win something. That's always a better choice for an actor.
Yeah.
Just,
Don't indulge
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
That's an action we say. That's a note we get a lot. If you find yourself like whining a lot, like I don't know, or what do you mean, that you're not handling it, which is not interesting. As interesting. Okay, can we pick it up from that same little chunk and go through the honeybee?
Yes. From the top, basically.
From the top of this section. Okay.
Great.
Yeah. And go.
I sat here in this house for more years than my grandmother lived, waiting for you to notice my heart lighten up the way down the old marine to you. Tell me why you haven't come.
I did come.
Never. When?
3 years ago. But I turned back. Right there at the white hedge.
Why?
Because I'm cracked. I'm mad.
Why are you cracked? How are you cracked?
Want to know everything? All right. Here it is. I believe that I'm a honeybee.
Thank you. Okay. All right. My favorite part of the play.
I believe
He's
that
a
I'm a
honeybee.
honeybee.
Thank you, everyone. We're running out of time. We ran out of time, and I want to say thank you to these wonderful actors, Trevor and Rebecca, and hopefully this gave you all a little bit of an understanding of what the 5 questions is. All of them interrelate. Who the character is revealed through action. How they want to make someone else feel is their way of getting what they want. We'll tell you something about the character. Where and when is it will connect to what they want, and all of the rest. So please see how you can use these in your own work. Remember that it's very important as an actor to be prepared, to do homework, to read the play, and to keep working on finding a reliable way of working, so that this isn't all about just interpretation. It is about finding what the writer intended. And if you want to reach us, we're at visionbox.org is our website. Our email is info@visionbox.org. And just keep on working. It's a weird time, but boy, are we glad that we work in the theater and what that is doing for our lives right now, and what we all do for each other. So good luck with the coming school year, and we'll see you next time in person, we hope. Thank you.